Welcome to Recently Logged, where you've never seen us very upset. But you can now. What? Is that how much we hate this movie, Micah? Just at the mere mention of the name, we're like, ugh!
We're like, oh,
Kick something.
yeah, give me something to punch.
Wow. Well, here we are, guys. We're starting yet another really big franchise.
It's not really big.
Yes, it is.
6 movies is not really big.
Yeah, but it's like culturally really big.
Like you talk like MCU, that's really big.
Okay, MCU. That's not even a franchise.
That's like 20 movies.
That's like that's a cinematic universe. That's not
like
a franchise.
50 shows, 20 movies, and a podcast.
It's pretty much just a TV show that's running in theaters. Is all it is.
TV show with really long episodes.
Exactly.
That's running in theaters.
That's all it is. It's not a movies anymore. Since they stopped shooting on film, it's not movies anymore.
Yeah, and then they digitally took off the film grain, Robbie.
Don't remind me. All right. Well, here we are now. Entertain us.
Oh, dang, that's really cool.
I feel stupid.
Wow.
An albino.
I don't think we need to hear the lyrics.
A mosquito.
It's a teen spirit. All right. We're talking about Mission Impossible, the first Mission Impossible today.
Are you saying that people who watch Mission Impossible don't like Nirvana?
Yes.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing.
We're talking about Mission Impossible, so do we want to talk about it?
Wait, was that a question?
That's a question for you.
Oh, okay, yes, I do want to talk about it.
All right.
Because it's one of my favorite older action movies.
It's a shame, but we're gonna go over the basic facts.
I say older, it's like what, 20 years old or something like that.
30 years old.
Yeah,
pretty much.
All right,
give it 6 years. So we're talking about Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
It was made in 1996. It's PG-13.
Whoa, yeah, it is. Whoa.
110 minutes. Cast, of course, has Tom Cruise.
Of course.
John Voight, I think is how you say it.
Voight?
I don't even want to try with her name. Henry.
Dang.
Christopher.
Why do you hate women, Micah? You're just skipping them in the cast.
Fine. Emmanuel Bjart.
Oh my, Bjart. I'm guessing it's
Everybody in this cast besides Tom Cruise has an unusual name.
It's because Tom Cruise is such an American.
John Voight, Amelia Bjart,
Tom
Henry
Cruise. Tom Cruise is American, right?
I guess. Yeah, no. Tom Cruise.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Watch, he's gonna be from like Austria.
Jean Reno or whatever. That's pretty easy. Ving Rhames.
I always think it's Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, this was directed by Brian De Palma.
Brian De Palma, my man.
Based on a television series by Bruce Geller.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Screenplay by David
Kiep. Like
and
that guy.
And Robert Towne.
He's written a lot of movies. Like a lot.
What was David Kiep written?
Like a lot of movies.
He was a writer on Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man.
He's a good screenwriter. I'll say it.
He was a writer.
I'm not ashamed.
He was a writer on The Little Engine That Could.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Zathura, A Space Adventure.
Oh no! Okay, this is
War of the World.
My take has gone down significantly.
Jurassic Park battle, dinosaur battle.
He was on for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, so I'm good, right? That's the only one that matters. Oh no, toy soldiers.
Oh
okay,
no.
Well,
so Jurassic Park is the only redeeming part of his career.
Wow. Okay. What about Lost World? Jurassic Park.
Screenplay was its worst feature.
Wow. Okay. Well. Anyway.
Oh yeah, and score by
Danny
Elfman.
The man, the myth, the elf.
Man.
What?
You said the elf, man, and I said man.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Wow, this is a nice joke, Micah.
So Robbie, what are your basic thoughts on this basic facts of a movie?
Well, if I were to be basic and tell you my thoughts, I would say that this is most certainly not the worst in the franchise. And
definitely not the worst. I don't think anybody
yeah, I
who's
don't think anyone
watched two could say that.
I don't think anyone's going to make an argument for that, but I would argue that this is in like top 3 or 4 of the franchise.
I would say definitely not.
But you know, I really enjoy this thing. This is like I said, one of my favorite action movies from this era. It has a lot of really, really fun scenes. A lot of like, I don't know. It's a fun movie. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna argue that.
A lot of boring scenes.
How dare you, Micah? I'm not bored. I think there's one scene where I get bored in this movie, and that's about it.
The entire ending, I am bored for.
Dang. Yeah, I do not envy you, Micah,
right,
in your lack of taste for movies.
This movie is fine. It's got some fun stuff in it. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's still pretty good. I just get bored with it, and I don't think I like it nearly like it being a little bit older in the way they did it with like the way they do the Mission Impossible stuff with the older technology. I'm not as big of a fan of. I don't think it looks like very good.
What?
As a movie.
Like you don't think it looks good?
Visually, no.
What?
But I still think it's pretty well made,
Micah?
and still got some fun and iconic stuff. I gave it 3.5 stars. What would you have rated it if you were doing ratings?
If I was doing ratings. If I rated movies still, I would have probably given it as an arbitrary numeric score, maybe like an 8 out of 10. I'm pretty, yeah, probably an 8 out of 10. You know, I'd go for that. I think it's, yeah, no. It's an 8 out of 10.
Say it in what
okay, that's a 4 out of 5.
Everybody, okay.
It is a
4. Everybody on Letterboxd, the platform you are on, you know what it's rating in? It's rating in a 5-star system.
Yeah, but it's a 10 sequence scale.
You just say, 4, 4.5, 5.
Yeah, but there are 10 different values
why
it can
be. Why be like 6, 29,
29? If
37?
I said La La Land's the only 29. Hate to break it to you. All right, but anyway, yeah, I'd rate it an 8 out of 10. So what does that give us on our grand average?
Okay,
for those who didn't
watch our Harry Potter series, we're doing an average rating between us, or rather, we're not doing an average. We're just combining our rating between us and then ranking the movies overall for the franchise for the podcast. Yeah. This starts MI1 off with a 7.5.
7.5 out of a possible 10.
Out of a possible 10.
There you go. Which I think that's pretty solid. Yeah. You know?
That competes with the likes of...
You're looking back at our scores.
It competes with Philosopher's Stone and Order of the Phoenix.
Wow. There you go.
With Azkaban, Half-Blood, and Deathly Hallows Part 2 above it.
I mean, I think that's about right. They're on about the same tier. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the Philosopher's Stone, so sure.
All right. All right. Well, do we want to get into the meat of the podcast,
yeah, let's
Micah?
Get into that meat.
The meat.
Meat.
No.
Oh, no. We've gone off the deep end.
Okay. Fair warning, guys. I didn't eat any breakfast this morning. If my stomach starts growling like halfway through this podcast, that's why.
Fair warning, guys. I never eat any breakfast.
Okay, Micah, you never eat breakfast. I usually eat breakfast, and I've been deprived of that this morning by myself.
Was your own fault.
Okay, but I was doing stuff for the podcast for this very
well, you can eat while you do stuff, you know.
All right, I'll just go get some like Cheetos or something. We'll record this still.
All right. Okay. Question time. Favorite scene or sequence? I got 2 questions back to back planned for this.
That is very tough. I think the obvious answer for favorite scene or sequence is like the heist, right? The main knock list heist.
I guess. I don't know. That's not my favorite scene or sequence.
I feel like that's like the scene that everyone remembers.
It's not the scene that sticks out in my mind.
Well, it's the most iconic scene, Micah.
If you say so.
No! You're supposed to be agreeing with my point, Micah. Okay.
So is that your favorite?
I don't know. Honestly...
Is it the magic trick scene?
No. That scene goes on a touch too long.
Is it the Job scene?
No. I think it actually is the heist. The middle heist.
All right, the main heist with the iconic...
the main heist with all of the dead rats and vents and throwing up in the bathroom.
All right, well, that's definitely an opinion.
What?
But my favorite scene would be the our scene or sequence, because it's not technically
I was about to say
scene.
The thing that I chose goes on for like 20 minutes.
Would be the opening job.
The opening job? That is a cool.
That's got
thing.
my most memorable stuff, and that's probably my favorite.
By opening job, do you mean Tom Cruise in a mask slapping the guy around?
No, where they all die.
Oh, the one where they all die.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
They all die.
They don't know who I'm talking about. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone.
It's not Tom Cruise.
Not Tom Cruise. How do you know, Micah? He could get thrown in the Lazarus pit.
Because a video just released of Tom Cruise motorcycling off of that giant ramp that you saw in the picture from Christopher McQuarrie, and then parachuting off of the motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
As a plane chased him.
All right. Well, what were we saying?
Yeah. Speaking of the series, though, just a little comment in there. I think it's pretty cool that we're starting this right as they're starting filming for MI7.
Oh yeah, it started production like yesterday?
Yeah, like yesterday.
There you go. Very cool.
Very, very cool.
All right.
And my follow-up question for this, because I had like 2 back-to-back favorite scene, but least favorite scene or sequence.
Least favorite? Oh gosh. That's tough. I don't know that I actively dislike any of the scenes. Just some of them are a bit lengthy, that's all. You're gonna have to give me a second on this. I can't. I wasn't thinking.
Well, mine would
why do I hate this movie with a burning passion?
Mine would be the ending on the train all the way up until he gets blown up and get launched, and then it cuts away from the train. So all of the train stuff.
You don't like the train sequence?
No, I think it's really boring, and I don't think it has any tension.
I mean,
to
it's definitely the weakest of all of their big action sequences, but. I don't know.
I hate especially all of the on top of train stuff and helicopter stuff. I just liked it the first time I watched the movie.
You're making pencil sounds. Stop making pencil sounds. No. Nobody wants to hear that, Micah. Nobody.
Our listeners want to hear
All right. Now that we've completely derailed the podcast once again.
No, we're waiting for you to answer.
Oh.
This is not derailment. This is stalling.
Least favorite. What is my least favorite scene? I don't think I have one.
Was your least favorite when Tom Cruise went, "Oh my, this purse is so heavy."
So heavy. All right. Can I say not applicable? I don't have a least favorite.
No, you gotta come up with your least favorite.
I don't know. I don't dislike any of the scenes really. I guess maybe the only scene where I might just fast forward over it in the future would be the scene where he first gets back after the main or the
forwarding it have to do with anything?
Well, that's my least favorite one.
I wouldn't fast forward over any of the movie if I was watching it.
I'm saying if I were to fast forward over the movie, cut out a scene. Oh my gosh, Micah, shut up. If I were to fast forward over the scene, it would be that one.
Wow. Okay.
Just because.
See, was that so hard?
It goes on a bit too long.
Was that so hard?
Yes.
All right. Do you have a question?
I do. What do you think of the performances in this? Because it's an older movie.
What does an older movie have to do with acting?
Different performances were expected of action movies back then.
I think Tom Cruise is fine. I think he's a little crazy, but Tom Cruise is always a little crazy.
Tom Cruise is always a little crazy. Wow.
I can't think of a performance that I had a problem with. I mean, I don't really like John Voight or whatever. I don't really like him as an actor.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was gonna bring up. Was I don't really like him.
I don't think his acting was the greatest. I would say out of all the performances, his was definitely the worst.
Yeah.
But I don't think I had a problem with any of the other performances.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. I feel like for some reason, maybe it's just in my mind, there's like an expectation of action movies nowadays to be more serious. And this one is not.
Like Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah. No. I mean, this one, it's not like it's not serious, but it's definitely a bit more goofy than the later ones are.
What about MI2, Robbie?
Okay, MI2 is max goofiness, and then after that it goes down.
Max goofiness, more like max ridiculous.
I love how it goes from the like most ridiculous out there film of the entire franchise to the most like dead serious thing in the entire franchise.
3, like only rivaled by Fallout, is just the most like serious,
like, yeah, no. But anyway, I just wanted to like point out that A, this is one of the less serious ones, and B, I didn't really love that guy's performance. What's his name?
Jon Voight.
Yes. I didn't love his performance.
I don't like him when he's talking about the status quo either.
Status quo. Oh my gosh. He is 10 times better in National Treasure because
status quo, son.
He's supposed to be the uptight dad.
The status quo.
The status quo. Oh my. We gotta do those movies sometime.
Maybe.
It'd be a wild time. Okay.
What do you think of the overall plot of this movie?
The overall plot, I think, is a little long-winded, but I still think it works really well. I think it has the solid emotional core like the rest of the franchise does of Ethan, which is kind of what the whole thing is built around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty solid.
I don't know. I think my biggest problem is after the whole realization where Jon Voight or whatever shot himself and set everyone up and killed everyone and everything.
That montage is so slow.
The amount of time that is left in the movie after that kills me.
Why?
I'm so bored after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like there's not much tension to the movie at all.
I mean, what about like the rest of the plot stuff that needs to happen? Like all like the knockless stuff.
Who cares about the knockless? It gives us zero reason to actually care about the knockless.
We care about the knockless because Tom Cruise
like
cares
Tom
about the
Cruise
knockless.
and Luther, they're like, yeah, this thing is really a cable.
Why is it Tom Cruise and Luther?
So dangerous. Because it's never Ethan. It's always Tom Cruise.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, gotta worry about this thing. But I have zero weight equivocated to the fact that this knock list is a thing.
Wow.
Like, I wouldn't care.
That's weird.
I wouldn't care if somebody got this. In the context of this movie, I cared like nothing about the knock list.
Was the team death tragic, Micah? Did it get you in the feels, you know?
It got me in the feels.
Well, then why don't you care about the knock list? More people are gonna die like that. Like that's the whole reason.
No, that was a mole hunt.
Well, yeah, that was a mole hunt, but still, like, I feel like the movie sets up ample opportunity for you to be like, oh no, don't let the knock list get out.
I don't care about the knock
wow.
list. I really don't.
Dang.
So I don't know. Just after it's revealed that he was the guy.
The guy.
I think it really goes downhill.
Bro, I was so diggity dang confused the first time I watched this movie.
Were you really?
Yes, I was so confused.
Okay, so for the context of our listeners, Robbie doesn't follow plots as well as 90% of everyone.
But like on my second watch, I got it down. You know, like.
So like there'll be like the most predictable twist in the world.
I'm getting a lot better.
And we'll be like, oh yeah, that twist. It's pretty good. We saw it coming. And Robbie's like, what? You saw the twist coming? How?
That is not what I'm like.
How?
I just am like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I'm not like mystified as to how you've seen it coming.
I don't get how.
I don't know. I'm not just trying to like figure out the plot twist.
Neither are we. We just see it coming. We're watching the movie and you're just like, your mind is just like, oh yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
I don't know. I just don't think about what's gonna happen next, like in the movie. It just happens.
What the heck, man? Anyway.
What was the question?
It was about the plot.
Oh, right. What did I think of the main plot of this movie?
Yeah, I don't know. I think like from a structure
I think you
standpoint,
could have
it's
trimmed.
kind of discombobulated.
I think you could have trimmed a bit of
because like
story fat here.
Because, like, what is the structure here? So we open up, and we establish the team with him slapping what's-his-face. They cut espionage, masks, opening titles.
I thought you were just going to be like, they are planning for the heist after getting information that establishes all of their dynamics.
No. Then after that...
What?
Then they have the job. It establishes their blah, blah, blah. They go in... Something goes wrong. They all die.
Something goes wrong. They don't all die.
Well, most of them die. All but 3.
Wow.
So then we have like the brief period of the movie. Act 2 we have broken into, and Tom Cruise. He's supposed to be really tired, but he seems kind of high.
High?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
So Act 1 ends with everyone dying. Right? You would agree?
Yes. Yes.
So then Act 2 would end where?
It would end, well, let's see what launches us into the final phase. Like the big train section.
Because, like, you'd think the final phase...
breaking into Act 3 would be the meeting in the air, or is it at an airport? I forget where it is. But the meeting with National Treasure guy. That would be Act 3.
So we have Act 1.
The big realization that catalyzes
the Act 3.
Yeah.
I think the movie pretty much ends, like, right there.
What?
All of that. And you can't see this visualization for you podcast
I was about to say,
viewers.
Micah, this is an awful, like, example for the podcast.
I've drawn out the act, and I think like,
so before Act 3?
Like, before Act... Like, right at the end of that heist... Like, right at the end of the heist, I think there should just be some wrap-up after that.
What?
And then it should be over. Like, I don't know. I really don't like the way that this story is written, because it just... There's no tension in Act 3 at all.
What? Then when would you find out, like, what happened to the team?
No, I'm saying it needs to be rewritten. I'm saying that, like, it should have been completely restructured to where you don't have the big heist, the big thing of the movie, and then have a stupid action set piece that nobody cares about.
Wow. Ouch. Well, I would very strongly disagree with that, but that is just me. I'm surprised you feel that way. I'm hurt, Micah.
I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
I don't know. I feel like that's so weird because it cheapens a lot of the emotional weight that his team dying gives the third act.
But what emotional weight? I don't. What emotional weight is that? Huh?
I just feel like it's robbing Tom Cruise's character of, like, the big payoff
I'm not saying just cut out Act 3. I'm saying rewrite it.
I don't know. I feel like just, like, taking it down to, like, a 10-minute wrap-up would just kind of suck. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like I'm saying, it needed to be written better to where if you're doing all of the stuff with National Treasure guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
National Treasure guy, then, like, why is, like, the big moment of the film have nothing to do with him?
Big moment. Are you talking about
the heist?
The knock list?
The heist is what everybody remembers. The heist is the most iconic thing from the entire movie,
mm-hmm.
but it has nothing to do with what's-his-face. It's just a step. It's just, oh, got it. And then so at that point, the heist should not take up as much time as it does.
I could see that. It's really fun. But yeah, I could see from a screenwriting perspective it not taking up as much space as it does.
Either cut down the other thing or cut down the heist, or, like, rewrite that to go better with the heist, because you just have this long, big heist that's a good heist.
It's kind of paradoxical, because if you were to shorten the heist, it would kind of cheapen what it is. Because a lot of the tension stuff works really well in that,
mm-hmm.
and if you were to cut it down, it wouldn't work as well.
No, I get
and
that.
then from a screenwriting point of view, it does go on too long. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, no, I could see that being a problem, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's like
It doesn't bother
after
me
that
too
heist,
much.
I think the pacing is dead and the tension is dead in the movie.
I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that, but I do see what you're saying. Like, no, I didn't get what you were like talking about before. Like,
Yeah.
Micah, are you insane?
No, like,
But yeah, no, I get it. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. That's just.
I've seen your point of view, Micah, and I do not think it holds as much weight as you have equivocated it to. But you know, no, stop browsing memes while we're doing this, Micah.
Why?
Because
Because they keep me happy.
it makes me happy.
It makes me happy.
All right. Well, you have anything else to add to the big grand discussion of Mission Impossible? I feel like we haven't really talked about that much.
Well, no, we
other
haven't.
than-
I don't know why you're like. Well, it's time to wrap.
No,
it
no.
up.
I'm just saying, like, we'll do like we need a few more
You need
things.
to ask another question. I asked the last question.
All right. What did you think
What did I think?
of like do you think the VFX affected this movie's like tone and quality in any way?
I think the only time where the VFX I care about them at all and looking bad is when the helicopter explosion happened. Like that is the only that is the one moment where I'm like, ugh.
Because this is aged surprisingly well.
Because yeah, I don't think you notice the VFX or anything too much. And a lot of it they didn't use a lot of
yeah,
VFX.
I was about to say a lot of it is practical, which is this entire franchise is insane because a lot of things are practical.
No, like the stunts later on.
Wait till we get to the latter half of this franchise.
Man,
That's
Tom Cruise.
That's a wild time.
I'm surprised he's not dead yet.
I really honestly, like I said this while we were watching it, like I'm really looking forward to the Mission Impossible movies. I just really hope that Tom Cruise doesn't, in his old age, like end up killing himself making these movies.
He's 2 years away from 60 right now, so he's gonna be theoretically 60 when MI8 comes out.
Which is insane. You need to stop. It's time to stop.
I don't know. He's gonna go till he drops, Robbie. He
yeah.
wants to be that first movie filmed in space. Remember?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to mention the VFX because I think a lot of the stunts and action set pieces in this are very cool.
I think no, I don't know. I was about to say I think the stunts overall, looking at the rest of the franchise, this is very lack of stunty.
Yeah, no, there's no big like stunt that you're like, whoa.
Like even
can't
two,
believe they did that.
Even 2 started like stunts.
Really the most outrageous thing that happens in this movie, you can tell is fake, the jumping off the helicopter onto the train.
Because physics don't work
exactly.
like that.
But I think the big like whoa moment is the heist, which is once again not a big bombastic set piece. It's just it's still really
and there
cool.
aren't really any big stunts. The biggest stunt would be him hanging from the air vent, but that's not anything special.
If he fell, he probably would have died. But
no.
Yeah.
No, what?
You see how far down it was?
That was like 10 feet.
It said 30 feet.
Yes, but he was hanging down.
Okay, wow.
Oh my gosh, you think he's gonna die from that fall?
The only reason he
was being so cautious was because if he touched the floor, it would set off the alarms.
Because the floor is lava.
It wasn't like, oh, if I fall, I'm gonna die immediately.
Yes, I'm saying there is a death factor.
There is no death factor.
Okay, wow. I'm trying to make a case for this.
There is no death factor.
Right.
I will give that it has tension, but not because he's in danger of dying or getting hurt.
I mean, if he is caught, he was probably gonna die.
Well, yeah, but
Wow.
The danger wasn't that he's gonna get caught. The danger was that they were going to not get the knock list.
I see. What were we talking about?
What else to add about this movie?
What other element is a big player in the quality of this movie?
I don't know. I think my biggest thing about this movie is pacing and structure.
Yeah.
I think that second act,
see,
just what I talked about, that second act heist and the third act being
Well, that's
like just meh.
That's the main
completely
reason
for me.
it's not a 5 or a 4.5.
Because I think there are a lot of really good things about this movie. I think most of the scenes are paced really well individually.
Yes, yeah.
And I think like there's a lot of really good energy from this stuff. Like all the opening stuff with Tom Cruise, the Max stuff, like all of that is like really good. But I don't know. It's murdered by a lot of like just the structure of the way they wrote this.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
It's like
No.
it's like The Lost World.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's not as bad as
okay,
The Lost
yeah, I was
World.
about to say The Lost World.
It's like The Lost World though. The structure and the writing is what kills it. There's a lot of good nuggets of goodness in there.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot that kills the movie.
I think I would agree with that being the main flaw. I just don't think it's as flawed as you're implying.
Well, I definitely don't think it breaks top 3 of the Mission Impossible.
I said 3 or 4. I don't know. I need to rewatch these again.
It's like, that's what we're gonna do.
Bet I'll never get a chance to do that, though. Yeah.
For all the podcast listeners, you can send us a copy of Rogue Nation since we don't have one. Our PO box.
Wow. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna buy the movies. You just have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I mean you've got like 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting till next month.
Oh wait, no, that's like 4 movies.
Because
so
I bought
that's like
really,
8 weeks.
I bought a really sick game, but it was also a lot of money.
You bought the Samurai Jack game.
Yeah, we're getting to that later, Micah. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
Yeah, what else to add about this movie?
I don't know. I don't have too much to say about it.
It's got some really good insane. I know one thing.
It's got very simple problems.
Yeah. One interesting thing is I think the way that this was shot is very interesting for me.
I really love the way this was shot.
Because that's one thing I want to bring up though. Is one thing that always confuses me. That like you have movies like this that look like this. So like movies that came out in the 90s and early 2000s look very similar in like the way they were shot, not like cinematography or anything like that. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying.
I don't know what
but
you're
like
saying.
the look of the footage itself,
just the way they would process the film back then.
But yet like a couple years later they look completely fine.
What do you mean? Are you saying this looks bad?
Like I don't know. There's like a distortion almost on all of like the the late 90s and early 2000s movies. Like Jurassic Park and this have the same look to that. And like those early, like even like I'm trying to think of early 2000s, like 10 Things I Hate About You all have that look to the film themselves. And I don't know.
It's probably just the way they processed and graded the film back then. That was in, because there's definitely a style for processing and grading footage now too.
Because I like film grain, but I always felt like movies that came out in the late 90s to early 2000s look distorted, like physically look off.
I don't know. I don't
like
see
no,
what
this
you're
is
saying.
this is just a personal
Okay,
thing that I wanted to bring up.
All right.
But like I look at these movies and I'm like I feel like very separated from the actual image itself because of how much distortion I feel is on it. Because I like film grain. I think film grain is great. So it's not the grain that's the problem. I don't know what it is.
You don't like the little grains.
It's like the movies that were filmed in the late 90s, early 2000s have like some sort of distortion on them almost. I don't know what that is.
That's very odd.
It makes me less inclined to want to turn them on.
All right. Well,
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Comment if you have anything that relates to this,
very
because I've
weird.
thought this for a long time and I don't know.
I think 90s and early 2000s movies, yes, they have a distinct look. Most of the ones you see anyway. Obviously, not all movies look like that.
No.
But I don't know. If anything, that's a feature for me. I like the look that they have.
No, I always feel like they look very.
Because a lot of the time they're a little overexposed. A lot of the time, like, but I don't know. I think it adds a certain charm to it.
I think it's very like. It kind of puts it's very disconnecting. I think is the look. Like I look at this and I'm like, wow, this definitely isn't the real world.
Wow.
I don't know. It's very odd.
Is that why you don't like La La Land, Micah? Because it's not the real world?
I like La La Land.
Yeah, any movie where it's not the real world, he's
my
like,
gosh.
boo, boo.
Oh my gosh.
Cloverfield, that's not the real world.
It's not the real world.
Can't you see?
I don't know. It's very odd. Comment
know.
if anybody relates to what I'm talking about.
I do not. Micah's like, please, guys, back me up on this.
Yeah, any other thoughts on this movie, though?
I don't know. I like I said, it's one of my favorite action movies from this era. I like a lot of the stuff about it.
Action movies came out in the 90s.
A lot of action movies that are
that
iconic
we've
came out in the
seen.
90s. I don't know. Jurassic Park?
Yeah, Jurassic Park is a lot better than this, buddy.
Yeah, I said one of my favorite. Jurassic Park might be my favorite. I don't know. That depends when Raiders came out. I don't remember when Raiders came out.
Why can't you just do 90? There we go.
You can, yeah. I was about to say, you can do any 90s movie.
Hunt for Red October, I guess.
Okay, that is not one of my favorites. Like,
Independence Day.
oh no.
The Fugitive.
Oh no. They just keep getting worse.
Quigley.
Hey, cool.
It's a Western.
Yeah,
though.
it's a Western. I mean, a Western's still an action. It's still an action movie to an
Congo.
extent. I've never seen Congo. Yeah, no. One of my favorites. I don't think that's a hot take.
Mant.
Mant, okay, Mant is the superior action film no matter what anyone tells you.
I'd say my top 3 favorite from the 90s. They're pretty good.
Wow. So anyway, do you have anything to add?
I think that's about it for
All
my
right.
thoughts on this movie. I think it's
In
I
summary.
think it's a good way to start the franchise.
It is definitely a good kickoff for the
But
franchise.
I'm definitely glad the franchise moved far beyond
Yeah,
what
no,
this is.
it has a couple problems, and I would honestly, I wouldn't have minded if we got a bunch of movies at the same level as this, because
I
I
would.
think
I
I think it's still pretty great.
I think my favorite part of this franchise is the latter half
How
of
much
the
better
franchise.
it gets, Micah?
And no, just like the latter half of the franchise. And I think the latter half of the franchise is just miles beyond this.
Wow.
And I don't know, like I think it's a good starting point. I think by 3 they start to get their act together a little bit.
Their act.
Because like this one is very show reminiscent. I don't know if any of you have actually watched the TV show, but I'm not a big fan of the way the TV show is, and this just reminds me a lot of the TV show. And then 2 is just awful.
Sorry, I got bored of your bad analysis.
Wow.
no, I'm
Dang.
kidding.
And I don't know, like it's fine. I just would like this is not a movie I would turn on very often.
Dang, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
I'm not.
Wow. I don't know. I feel bad whenever someone doesn't like a movie. I'm like, oh, it's a missed opportunity to like something, you know?
Yeah, it is.
It's
It is
sad.
sad that you don't like Howard the Duck.
Okay, no, that is not a missed opportunity. It's not that I don't like it. Oh, it's so sad. It's that I actively hate that movie with a burning passion.
All right, you are all right, Mr. Actively Hate with a burning passion.
I hate that movie
What are
almost
your-
as much as I love La La Land.
What are your what is your closing thoughts on MI1?
Like I said, one of my favorite action movies of the era. I really love a lot of the aspects of this that carry over to a lot of the other Fallout. Mission Impossible movies. All right. And Henry Cavill should have been in this.
Henry Cavill
There
should
you
have
go.
been in every Mission Impossible movie.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I've said everything I had to say. I think it's
Like
really solid.
imagine if Henry Cavill was set up as a CIA agent in this one and throughout just the entire series, and then just comes in and that Fallout's so good.
I just feel like I really have said everything about it. Like, I just feel like it's a very basic 4-star movie that has a couple very basic
4-star?
problems.
I don't think so.
And, you know, I think it's good. I
don't
really
think-
love
I
it.
don't think I could give this 4 stars.
I really love it, you know?
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah.
no 4 stars for it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we
All right,
think.
All right. Fair enough.
Those are our thoughts. We do with them what
Thoughts
you
on
will.
a plate. All right.
Publish them on Twitter in
Do it.
out of context clips.
Yeah, do completely out of context our lives. ruin our whole career.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Yes.
So if this is your first time on the podcast, you might notice there's still like 20 minutes left.
Yeah, so we're gonna do what we watched. We're just gonna talk about what we've watched since our last podcast.
We're gonna cover the new films and media.
Definitely watched some interesting things.
The new films and media we've watched since the last episode.
Only 2 rewatches since we did this, but lots
I've
of first
had
times.
no rewatches.
Mission Impossible.
Oh well, besides Mission Impossible, duh. But like that doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. All right.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get started.
On the 31st, August 31st.
Oh, 31st.
Wow, August 31st. We watched
when Marnie was there.
the most recent Ghibli movie.
Yes.
When Marnie was there, very good.
We thought it was gonna go all Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I honestly.
And then it didn't.
I honestly thought it was going to be like Portrait of a Lady on Fire, but it was not.
I mean, look at that cover. It's the same cover.
I was so like worried.
I was like, wait a minute,
because they're not like over 18, and then I was like, what is going to happen here, Ghibli? Where are you going with this?
Rolling in the hills in the grass, and
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about that. But then they took it a different direction.
Yes. Very glad they did.
Spoiler. It wasn't my cup of tea, but it was pretty good. I didn't like this. The story wasn't like the emotion of the story. I definitely felt that
I'd buy this movie.
That it was well made, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I gave it 4 stars because it was well made, though.
All right, well, fair enough. If I had to rate that, I would probably give it a 4.5 or a 4. It'd be somewhere in between there because I think it's really solid. It has a couple of pacing problems at times, but other than that, it's pretty great.
All right, then on the 1st, I watched the greatest piece of 2020 cinema.
Heck yes, you did.
To ever grace the screen.
I literally came in halfway, or I guess like 2/3 of the way.
Screen.
Of the way
Every
through
element of it is literally perfect. We couldn't change a thing, even if we wanted to.
It's like a dumpster fire.
The Netflix original, The Sleepover.
Oh my.
To rescue their parents, they need to get a clue. That doesn't even make sense in the context of the movie.
It doesn't even make sense.
And that's the whole tagline. What? Yeah, it was like Spy Kids, but absolutely horrible.
It's like if Spy Kids wasn't Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. like Spy Kids, like these kids, 2 kids, brother and sister who don't look like their brother and sister, discover that their parents are spies. No, wait, no. Never mind, I'm wrong.
Spoilers, Micah. Spoilers.
Discover that their mom was formerly a illegal thief/smuggler.
Whoa.
And while their friends are at the sleepover, well, no, just the one guy that's at the sleepover.
Long story short, Micah.
Long story short, it's trash.
Okay. I was about to say, you're taking way too much time to try and explain this garbage movie.
It's trash. It's so bad. That's how I started September, people. That's how it started.
All right. And then after, well, did I watch this before that? Where did I watch this?
It was after that.
Okay.
It was at once because you were gone when we watched this, and then you came back.
Okay.
And you guys watched.
After that, on the same day we watched.
I did not watch.
Well, you kind of watched. You were in the room. We watched another Ghibli film only yesterday, 1991. It was pretty good. I liked it. It's one of those kind of slice of life movies that kind of just meanders around, which I don't mind. But I don't know. It's solid stuff. Go watch it.
Solid stuff.
Go watch it, guys. Basically anything Studio Ghibli outside of Pom Poko and Ocean Waves.
I was about to be like Pom Poko.
Yeah, anything Studio Ghibli outside of Pom Poko and Ocean Waves, I recommend. So yeah, go watch this one. Then what did you watch, Micah?
Well, you see, my year completely turned around.
Did a full 180.
The month was saved. Cinema was probably saved. And I watched Tenet.
The cinemas were saved, Micah.
Tenet, man.
Tenet.
I want to rewatch this so bad.
Christopher Nolan, baby.
Man.
Was it okay? Without spoiling it, Micah, was it about Twin Towers?
No,
like
it was not.
everyone was saying.
Everybody was like, "Oh, it's about the twin."
It's gonna be about 9/11.
It had 0% to do about 9/11. 9/11 was
Wow.
never mentioned once. But man,
I was a little scared there for a while because it was coming out like around 9/11.
9/11,
and I was like,
that one random weird connection to the word Tenet and 9/11. I forget what it was, but the conspiracy theorists put it together.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's reassuring then. I'm glad.
But man, this was really good. Like, I'm so glad I saw it in theaters. I would definitely suggest watching it on a big screen.
Are you saying I should walk down to the theater and watch it, Micah?
Yeah, me and you we should go see it in IMAX.
I just said I'm not going to buy one movie on Blu-ray because I'm waiting till next month. Like it's like IMAX.
It's really, really good. I don't want to spoil it too much.
150 minutes.
No, it's long.
Wow.
It's very long. It's not as long as everybody was saying it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't.
Was it like 4 hours?
It was
the first runtime announced?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it without like spoiling too much of the movie, or like the feel of the movie. But like, this was almost peak Christopher Nolan for me.
Wow.
I liked it more than I like Inception.
Whoa. Those are big words there, Micah.
I do. Prestige is still my favorite of his for sure. But this is like very like close to peaking as my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. It's just my cup of tea when it comes to Christopher Nolan.
Another Nolan stan raving about Tenet.
Hey, most people like a lot of people I know just thought Tenet was mediocre.
I don't know. I'm very, very, very curious to see it because I don't know what I'll think.
It's got that 3.7 average and it makes me sad.
Because I really love Inception. I really love The Prestige.
It makes me sad.
But I don't know. I don't love Dunkirk. I think it's very solid.
That Robert Pattinson twist was really solid.
Bro. Wow. Are you gonna get high and go watch this again, Micah?
That would be amazing.
Wow, Micah. Wow.
Recently logged, nor I endorse getting high.
Wow.
Or going high, or getting high and operating heavy machinery
to go see.
Or getting high in general, or just don't do it. Say no to drugs, kids.
Say no to this starts playing every time I see drugs in a movie.
Yes. All right. What did you log, Robbie?
After that,
yeah, they watched this while I was at Tenet. They were jerks. I go see Tenet with a friend one time, and
Hey, I had a right, you know. So while he was gone, we were stuck outside of our house, and we decided
for undisclosed reasons.
Yeah, for undisclosed
apparently.
reasons. Well, I mean, I guess I can tell them. We have bed bugs in our house. Very unfortunately, and they seem to have invaded my room.
No, they haven't.
Which is my studio.
They have not invaded your room.
Okay, well, I found one down here, and it's very scary. I got a mosquito. I got a mosquito bite last night, and I was like, "What the heck? I'm gonna die."
Okay, so bed bugs, yes, they bite you.
But anyway,
creepy in your sleep, but it's not that scary.
Long story short, we had to pump the house full of what is it?
The ozone cleaner.
Ozone, yes, ozone.
It takes away the oxygen in the air.
So basically, we'll suffocate them. Was the idea, and we left it running longer than expected because we you program it and everything, but to shut off. And but we were stuck out of the side of the house waiting for it to air out. And I was like, well, what are we gonna do now? I was gonna get to work on some work stuff that I had to do, and we ended up turning on. That was a really long preamble. Samurai Jack. I watched the first 3 episodes of Samurai Jack, which I think is what I logged as the premiere movie, is what it's listed as on Letterboxd. So like how it premiered on Cartoon Network. But I might have discovered my new favorite animated show.
That's a shame.
That I discovered my new favorite animated show.
That's your new favorite animated show.
Dang, but yeah, I really love
like
Samurai
some shows
Jack.
better, but
I watched it going into it thinking it was going to be an Adult Swim show because the only thing I had ever seen about it was on Adult Swim. Not that I watch Adult Swim.
The last season.
Yeah, the last
was picked
season.
Up by Adult
the
Swim.
last season was Adult Swim. So when it was popular again, like when it had a resurgence with the Adult Swim season, was when I had heard about it first. Like when I was like, I don't know, I was probably like 12 or something back
12?
then.
No way.
What?
Robbie, the Adult Swim season came out in like 2017.
Oh, wow. It felt like 12. Okay, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I thought this was going to be an Adult Swim show, and then I was very surprised to see that it was Cartoon Network for the first 4 seasons.
And
but
that-
I'm
and that
really
he's slicing people in half, but it's okay because they're just robots.
I'm really loving it. It's really good. It's got great a great episode pacing, great cinematography, great animation. It's all really good.
2017.
But yeah, no, it's really fantastic. I ended up buying the new Samurai Jack game. I think it's called like something Journey Through Time or something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, it's really fantastic. Go give it a watch. I fully endorse the first season.
Yeah,
I have not
Samurai
seen the
Jack-
rest of it
Samurai
as
Jack
of yet.
So far has been very good.
Yes.
I like it, but that was very long.
Yes, it was.
You just did like a 20-minute spiel.
But I really love Samurai Jack.
Then on the 4th we watched cinema.
We wa-
The birth of cinema,
We
probably.
watched the birth of a nation.
The
No.
Scooby-Doo. Not Scoob. Scoob is trash.
Scooby-Doo
Scooby-Doo 2.
2.
Monsters Unleashed. Written by James Gunn.
Is that the only feature you like of this?
This movie is brilliant.
It's
It's pure cinema.
there for all of its many flaws.
What flaws?
Mike's like, what?
There are none.
It is very very fun to watch, and it has a lot of solid stuff in it. So
There literally are no flaws.
but yeah, no,
Beautiful movie.
not much to say about this. Maybe we'll do the
Masterpiece.
Maybe we'll go through and do all the Scooby-Doo
Almost
movies
cried.
sometime. That would be fun.
The
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo movies.
Yeah, we'll have to do Scoob again, unfortunately.
All the Scooby. Robbie, there are a ton of like old animated.
Well, not
Scoob.
like the animated specials. Those don't count.
I gave it 3.5. I think it's a beautiful movie.
I would probably give it 3.5.
Then I watched without. Oh wait, no, this one was with you, Dan.
You're like, without you.
Well, we watched The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was fine.
It was good.
It wasn't
fine.
as well made as I would have liked, but it was still very good. 4 stars. Fun time.
Yeah, good time.
Then we watched Hayao Miyazaki's feature-length directorial debut,
Yes.
Lupin III, Castle of Cagliaristo.
Yes.
Cagliaristo, yes.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Yes.
Can't believe that was his, like...
It's so good.
That was his... Oh, that's just amazing.
It's crazy.
I want to watch some other Lupin III things.
You guys...
somebody hit me up on where I can find the 3D animated new one
Yes.
with subtitles.
Oh my gosh, I really want to see the new 3D animated one. It looks so good. Okay. But yeah, no, this was really good. I didn't know what to expect. It was another non-Ghibli Miyazaki movie, and this was very, very different from most of his other work.
Definitely.
But,
this was one of the ones that
it's
he
very,
did.
very
This is
good.
see, like most of the works he did were originals, and this was an original screenplay by him. But like Nausicaa,
it's not his own original.
yeah, like
characters.
Nausicaa, which was also not Studio Ghibli. They're both based off of something in a series.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like completely his original thing.
But it's very, very good. You guys need to go
4.5
watch
stars. Very good. It's on Netflix, right?
it. Yes, I believe so.
Netflix,
Yeah.
Yes, go watch it. Okay, now this is the one I watched without you.
Without you.
I watched the Criterion Collection movie that we all wanted, but never got. Carnival of Souls.
Wait, why didn't we get it?
Because look at her face. She's scared.
She's scared.
It was pretty good. It was more thriller-y than I thought it would be.
Well,
Um,
it's pretty good for an old movie.
man, that Criterion version looks so freaking crisp. Like it just looks like see, this is an older movie.
Freaking
This is a
love
much older movie. This was
Criterion
made in the
transfers.
60s, and it looks so much better and so much less disconnected than all of those late 90s, early 2000s movies. I don't know. But I give it 3.5. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Then that very same day, I watched the Michael Crichton movie that everybody loves, Conga.
Oh no.
If you don't know, Michael Crichton wrote Jurassic Park, and he also wrote the book, because the Jurassic Park, the book, not the screenplay. And he also wrote the book
I think he helped write the screenplay, like he was in the writing room.
That made this movie, Congo, and this movie felt just exactly like Jurassic Park.
Congo, old boy.
But not Spielberg, and with not a very good screenplay.
Ouch.
It was fine. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't very good. I give it 2.5.
I saw like the last how much did I see of that? Like the last 20 minutes?
But it had the girl who played Truman's wife on the Truman Show. So that was pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
You know?
Oh, there you go. That should be my favorite TV show, Micah, the Truman Show.
What? No. That's creepy. That's the whole point.
But yeah.
But then what did we watch?
We watched Jason Bourne. The Bourne Identity. The first one, for the first time.
For the first time.
If you can even believe it.
I can't.
Wait, why not?
I don't know.
It's very believable. I don't.
It wasn't the greatest.
It was.
It wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
This is very sad. I was kind of disappointed. A lot of people I know had given this pretty high ratings and recommended it to me.
I like me some Matt Damon though.
And I don't know. It was just kind of
I gave it 3 stars because it was good, but it wasn't because it wasn't awful, but it definitely
no,
wasn't
it wasn't bad, but no, yeah, I'd probably give it 3 as well.
All right,
which sucks. Once again another sad time of going into a movie being like, here we go, guys, and then just nothing.
Yeah. Then we watched The Birth of Studio Ghibli Cinema.
For the first time?
No.
Well, for me, for the first time.
This is a rewatch for me.
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke. Love Princess Mononoke. Very, very good.
I love Princess.
Written, directed, and edited by Hayao Miyazaki.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli. I think it's my second favorite Studio Ghibli movie.
Wow, you like the bloodbath Studio Ghibli movie.
It is definitely the most bloody of the Studio Ghibli movies. But man, it's really good. I think the writing is great. The characters are great.
No, it
the
had
acting,
a fantastic screenplay.
Everything is great.
It's kind of crazy, actually.
Robbie hates good cinema. So
no, I just didn't. I don't know what it is. I need to watch it again because I don't know. Maybe it was just having the interruptions because we had to stop it twice. While we were watching this.
Robbie hates good cinema.
I didn't like it, but I don't dislike it. I'm just kind of indifferent to it. It has an absolutely, from a technical standpoint, it is absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing.
I just couldn't get behind, it didn't make me feel anything, which is unusual for a Ghibli movie. So I'm thinking I just need to sit down and watch it again.
Robbie sucks.
Wow, I'm sorry. I want to love this movie. It's one of my favorite animation directors. He literally directed my favorite animated movie, and I want to like his other work, but I didn't really enjoy watching this one that much. It, like I said,
Robbie
fantastic in almost every technical aspect, but I didn't love it.
All right, well, that's about all the time we have for today, folks.
Indeed. I hope this wasn't too boring.
Hope you didn't die.
What?
Of boredom.
Die of boredom.
We don't have any cool quotes because there aren't any good quotes for this movie.
All you cool cats and kittens. I already used the cool quote at the beginning. Kittredge,
right.
You've never seen me very
You've never seen me very upset. Hasta lasagna, don't get any on ya.
Wow.
And don't chew it.
Spoiler alert, Spy Kids stole the exploding gum. Okay, bye.